Hey guys, as you guys probably know already, there's a Vladov shard summoning coming very soon, and I'm just gonna go over the event list with you guys to just kind of give my own input on what you should be going for in order to get him the easiest. I'll show you guys how to do it for just getting one copy and for getting two copies. Just the easiest way to do it, what parts of the games you are, like what part of the game you are will definitely influence it too. So I'll do a more like early game sort of recommendation and a later game recommendation. Just cause why not? Just trying to help. But anyways, let's get into it. I'm gonna bring up the list. We got the calendar here. As you can see, it's going from tomorrow, at least by the time I'm recording this, which is the Friday the 19th, and it's going until Monday the 5th. It's a pretty long time. It's a couple of weeks. It's always pretty good. These events are always very easy to get the epic from. Sometimes you can even get two copies. I would recommend if you have like a more mid to late game account. I hear his A1 is good, but I'll go over that later. So if you would like to get two, since Vladov is a pretty rare unit, I would recommend that. But let's just go over some of the easiest events to complete and try to kind of think it out a little bit. But anyways, this is the calendar. You can see all the events. Oracle Trial just means tournaments. So tournaments you can actually get extra fragments. So I know it doesn't look like you can get two copies, but if you win at least a couple events, tournaments, Oracle Trials, whatever they're called, you can actually get two copies. Spiritual Altar just means summoning events, basically one every Friday. Arrival of Heroes is another summoning event, so this first one will be really good for fragments if you want to summon this weekend. I do not recommend summoning this weekend, as I will have a video soon on some upcoming characters and events. There's two very cool characters coming soon. One of them is a bond skill with arrogance, and she seems really broken for the Nightmare faction. And there's a healer coming soon for the Cultist faction, which does a lot of damage. It's like the first damaging healer apart from Lightlock. It looks very cool. I'll definitely have a video coming very soon on those. But this weekend, if you're really desperate for fragments, is not a bad weekend to summon for the fragments if you want to summon on the 2x. But once again, the banners are not that great unless you really want Hex. I'm not sure what's happening on this banner, but currently in the game files there is nothing that's really showing that anything's coming soon, so I only expected 2x on this one. And then we get to the easiest events and tournaments to do. Duel of Champions is trivially easy. You don't even have to win your arena fights to get it. I would highly recommend going for these two. Instant 10 fragments, super easy. Oh yeah, also another Arrival of Heroes here I didn't see. I'm not sure what banner is here, but when I get informed, I will tell you guys. Anyways, Tales of the Smith, I don't find very easy. If you're an endgame account that gets a lot of gold pretty easily, like me, I would recommend maxing these out. But if you're earlier game, I would honestly just skip them. You don't really need to get these two to be fine. Brave Conquest, you should already be maxing out every time if you can. The 3 summons is very nice, and you should be farming gear, artifacts, etc. all the time already, so definitely max those out. That's already 25 fragments that you should be getting very easily. And then the events, not the events, sorry, the tournaments, I feel like it's very easy to max out all of these, at least until the fragments. You could probably just farm a couple hundred stamina and you'll get them, so I would definitely go for all of these. That's 20 on top of the 25, that's 45 already. Awakening of Heroes and Corridor of Glory are all leveling events. Corridor of Glory you should already try to be maxing out every single time, even if you have to save food and XP and stamina. It's very worth going for because it's the best way in the game to get legendary skill crystals, or at least one of them. So you should be able to get the 20 from each of these. That's 45 plus 20, which is 65. We're already almost there. And then you can make up the rest either from winning tournaments, from doing the Tales of the Smith like I mentioned, or from summoning. And it should be pretty easy. So you should be getting like a basically a free 65. And also, sorry, the 10 from Awakening of Heroes if you would like to go for that. But it's up to you. So that's what I would do. I would do Duel of Champions. Very easily, you should always be going for those. Brave Conquest, you should always be going for, and same with Corridor of Glory. You could easily go for these 4 events for farming gear. You should always be farming gear anyways in this game. It's the main cap in this game is gold and gear, but if you farm gear, you will get the gold. It just makes sense. And then if you would like to summon, you can get the summons. You do need to summon 40 times for the Luminance event, so you should be summoning anyways. Here we are with Vladov. Fun fact, Vladov is one of 2 lords, the other one being Nero, who is a part of 2 factions. They don't boost both factions, but they can be boosted by the other faction. But anyways, Vladov, first of all, looks really cool. He looks kind of like a bear-wolf hybrid for some reason. He's super cool. He's one of 2 epics in the chaotic faction, which are really cool. He specializes in arena, and honestly, he's a little bit of just chaotic boosting fodder. Is kind of a mean thing to say, but he's not really going to be used as much as a unit as he will be for the Lord skill, just like most Lords in this game. But anyways, let's get into it. His talent increases attack speed by 30 for 8 seconds every time after he takes damage, up to 5 stacks, so that'll stack, sorry, my brain's freezing, 150 attack speed if he gets attacked 5 times in 8 seconds. That probably won't get capped out very often, but it's definitely a nice talent to have. He has average cost, normal range. His basic attack is a double hitter, which is kind of interesting. It's 85% when fully skilled. You should have him fully skilled if you're using him, because he's an epic. 85% damage twice is pretty strong. His passive is 20% chance every attack to deal 150% AoE damage to up to 5 targets in the front semicircle. So it should be these, like this sort of range, if you can see my mouse. It's AoE damage up to 5 targets and applies bleed on each target. He gets increased trigger chance and damage when it's skilled up. This is pretty good because he does multi-hit already, so this will be triggered more often than you think. He has arena cost reduction, so he'll only be 13 in arena. That's not anywhere bad. It's pretty strong, but let's go to his ultimate. It's a manual ult, which already makes it better than an auto ult generally. Converts 12% of max HP into attack while losing 10% of current HP per second. Eliminating a target restores 7% HP. This effect lasts for 15 seconds. This doesn't read too crazy, but it is a very cheap ultimate. It's basically like life steal, but he loses a lot of his current HP. Losing current HP is really good for chaotic, so that's actually not too bad. And then his Lord skill is obviously the reason why you would really be using him. Increases faction ally basic attributes, like all of them, like all Lord skills. And then increases faction allies damage based on their lost HP up to 40% if 30% HP. That's really good. If you're running a chaotic team and you don't have Gon, who is one of the rarest heroes in the game, he will really help you out. Vladov is a great unit, as I said earlier, purely because of that Lord skill. His A1 is each basic attack launched has a 10% chance to apply bleed effect to targets. If you want to use Vladov in Guild Boss, which you should if you have a lot of Scarlet Hunts and no Salazar, just for that 20% extra damage to your ground targets, you do need his A1, so I would highly recommend trying to win every tournament and getting everything completed if you would like to A1 for that. It's a very good A1. More crit rate is not a bad thing to have. When HP is below 20%, restores 10% HP per second for 5 seconds, one time per deployment. So basically when he gets low, he's just going to heal 50%. That's really strong. More attack speed is always always good thing to have. Sorry. And when the talent effect reaches 5 stacks, increases damage by 15%. Once again, this won't happen too much, but this is definitely not a bad thing to have. His awakenings are pretty good. But his highlight is still his Lord skill. And also, I've heard that with his A1, he has 100% bleed uptime. Not 100% sure, but he should be a really good bleeder. very useful. But that's about it. Go for those events and tournaments I mentioned, and just kind of fill in the rest with what you prefer, and it'll go out okay. Vladov's a cool unit, definitely not one you want to miss. He's very rare, only in ancient shards, I'm pretty sure. So, you definitely want to go for him. Anyways, happy summoning if you guys summon. I'm probably going to do the 40 summonings for the Wizard Horde and then call it quits. Or I'll get my gambling addiction coming full circle again, and I'll pull until I die. But anyways, hope you all have a great day, night, whenever it is where you are, and bye-bye.